Hello and welcome again to Piedmont Business Live. I'm your host, Ken Morrison, and today we're talking to Brendan Garcia. He is with VetLaw. Brendan, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today.
But tell me a bit about VetLaw. What is it?
Sure. VetLaw is a law firm, but we're dedicated exclusively to representing veterans, dependents, and survivors of veterans who have applied for disability compensation with VA or gone to VA for some other type of help and been turned down. That's when we step in, we try to assist them in obtaining the benefits that they deserve.
And we hear a lot of stories in the news, especially in the last few years, about how difficult it can be to go through the whole VA system and get a case looked at or get an application looked at. I imagine it's a great comfort for them to have someone like you to kind of help them when things get snagged up.
Definitely. The last thing I think a veteran thinks of when they first apply to VA is that they're going to be turned down.
Right.
But unfortunately, it happens more often than not. Many veterans simply don't know where to turn at that point. The resources aren't necessarily there to provide them with information on how to appeal that decision, what the next steps are, and what they should do to provide more evidence in their appeal.
Gotcha. Do you practice other types of law?
No, I certainly don't. I just dedicate myself to assisting veterans with VA. I found that if I try to delve into different areas, it just takes too much time and attention away from my main focus, and so I've just settled on representing veterans solely.
Wow, and so by just focusing on the veterans, it really makes you what I would imagine is a very skilled expert in that field.
Well, I thank you for saying that.
It's okay to brag on yourself. I just did. You can do it too.
Okay. I won't say that about myself, but I certainly do take the time to stay up to date on veterans issues, the latest laws that are passed, the latest regulations that VA enacts, and all the court cases that come down from the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims to stay up to date with everything related to veterans.
Terrific. So what led you into this line of work?
Well, I'm a veteran myself.
Yeah.
I spent 4 years enlisted in the Marine Corps straight out of high school. And so I've always wanted to kind of do something to give back to other veterans who may not necessarily be as fortunate as myself, who may have issues coming out of the military. While I was in law school, I had an interesting experience where after my second year, I went to work for the Board of Veterans Appeals, which is one of the appeals agencies for VA up in Washington, D.C. I spent the summer there, learned a whole lot about veterans law, and really saw some of the issues that veterans faced during the appeal process. And that kind of started the wheels turning in my head that something needed to be done.
Okay. And your office is in downtown Winston-Salem, but now I understand that you can help veterans anywhere in the U.S. How do you do that?
That's right. I am licensed, of course, in the state of North Carolina as an attorney, but I represent veterans nationwide. We have a strong web presence, a strong phone team that answers questions from veterans anywhere, and I'm willing to also travel, of course, anywhere in the country when we have hearings for veterans. Any of the 56 regional offices spread throughout the country, or the Board of Veterans Appeals in Washington, D.C. as well.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned that you assist veterans with appeals. Now, does this mean a veteran has to be denied benefits first before they can come to you?
Technically, in order for me to represent them before VA, they do have to be denied. But I'm more than willing to sit down and just chat a little bit with any veteran, whether they've applied for benefits, whether they've been turned down, or they just don't know where to start.
Right.
I would not technically be their representative at that point, but I'm more than happy to guide them in the right direction and point them on what to do.
But a knowledgeable friend at that point.
Definitely.
So somebody wants to get in touch with you. How do they do it?
Sure. So one of the easiest ways is just to visit our website, www.vet.law, or they can give us a call, 855-602-4240, or look for us on Facebook as well. I do try to stay up to date on Facebook on our business page, post a lot of news articles and tips for veterans on there to help them even if they don't contact us.
Okay. And those links are at the bottom of this page. They'll also be shown at the end of this video. So we encourage you, visit Brendan's website, visit the Facebook page, and contact them. If you're a veteran, this is certainly somebody that can be a tremendous advocate for you. Brendan, thanks so much for being with us, telling us about your story, and I really appreciate your service, one, as a Marine, and two, as a person who is an advocate for veterans. In my personal opinion, veterans are the greatest folks on earth, and we really appreciate your service, what you do for them. So,
absolutely. Thank you for that, and yes, I do have a passion for helping veterans, and thank you again for having me today.
Glad to. Thank you for tuning in to Piedmont Business Live. We'll see you again next time.